Hey there, TikTok. All right, so I posted a video, hopefully just before this one, that shows you a little thing about the place where I stay in a little RV resort up here at the lake in California. And as you might know from my other video, I am also taking a very ugly piece of property up here and hoping to turn it into an RV resort. It won't be as lovely as this one because I don't have a lake. However, I might end up having some creek access and, I don't know, play area for the kids and horseshoe pits and a general area and maybe do some picnics. I'm thinking I might even put like a hamburger stand and a general store and like ice cream and maybe even food delivery because there's not a lot of places up there. So perhaps I can make it quite a going concern, but I'll keep you posted on that. So the story about this, it's half manifestation and half petty. One thing about me is if you've watched my videos from the beginning, you would know that I was a drinker and a drugger and a loadie my whole life, and that was the plan for my whole life. However, unfortunately, my plan ran out of gas to the tune of liver failure, jaundice. Basically, I was at death's door by the time I finally got sober. And so now I literally can't even drink NyQuil if I'm legitimately sick. So I'm a teetotaler that never meant to be that, but that's what I am. And as a result, in 14 years of sobriety, now I'm in a place where I can have a little summer place like this and also hopefully build my own RV park. And I, of course, I own the auction business. I have a salon in Reno. My newest venture, Property Power Associates, is now doing some fix and flips as well as the project for the RV park and a few other things. So sobriety and getting older certainly does have its benefits. But again, that wasn't my plan. The reason I tell you all this is I'm still a smoker. It's literally like my last vice, Coca-Cola and cigarettes. Other than that, I'm pretty legal, pretty good. Department of Taxation just fined me $55,000. All right, no problem. I'll pay it. I tried to explain why my numbers were correct, but whatever. Pay your $55,000. I'm going to make payments. It's not like I just have an extra $55,000 sitting around. And even if I did, I would make payments to them. So whatever. But so the story of this, when we first, the Van Zandt Auctions first finally was, I don't know, in its 5th, 6th, 7th year, and it was finally holding its own. It was a business that worked. I thought, okay, so what do? I don't have children. How do I get away, or what do I do to have a life now that I've built this business? What exactly are we doing it for? Why am I doing it? So anyway, my parents had always had a place up here at this resort in California. They had a travel trailer up here, and we came in the summer and stayed, and it was a nice part of my childhood. So when I was able to do so, I decided to get a spot up here as well. I actually came and stayed in the cabin and found out about a spot that was available. They usually have a waiting list, and I'm here right now, and as you can hear, it is silent here. There's not a lot of partiers. That's over on the other side of the lake. This is generally 55 and over people. I'm not yet 50, but maybe people my age, but a lot of older people. It is quiet, silent at night, which fits in with my life because I don't get drunk and rage or anything anymore. And I just want to get away from my work because I find that if I stay in town, all I do is work. So this place was kind of a forced getaway and something nice that I could do for myself to show that, hey, you used to have to decide between toilet paper and paper towels, and you and your husband used to share one car with manual roll-down windows. I've been there. But I'm not there anymore. And this is not like the Taj Mahal. It is a travel trailer at a summer resort up at the lake. And I'm a retailer with a travel trailer up at the lake, just like my parents. But my parents are awesome and gave me an awesome life. So if all I ever do is exactly what they did, then, hey, I'm a success. So I'll tell you more stories about that in a little bit. But so I get it figured out. I get a travel trailer. I haven't moved up here because I don't have a truck that's big enough to do that. I find a good deal on one. I take my time, and because this is a large expense, something that I've never done before. And so this was a large expense for me, getting a triple slide travel trailer, getting a spot up here. It's not inexpensive, and you pay for the entire year, even though you're only allowed here May through October because it's I guess they get a lot of snow, especially, of course, this last season. So anyway, I get it all hooked up. I figure it out. My best friend Amy uses her mom's truck to come drive this thing up here. I get it in my spot. I'm figuring everything out. And again, I'm a smoker. But so one of the first nights, in fact, it might have been the first night I was here, but it was very early on. Still super surreal that I was able to have a place up here on my own, just like my parents did. And again, it's not free. This was a large expense. It might not be technically a vacation home, but you get the idea. It costs, 8-10 grand a year by the time you pay for the travel trailer and the up here and the gas back and forth and all that stuff. So I'm patting myself on the back and I'm outside of my camper in my little area smoking a cigarette. And the next door neighbor comes up and says, "Hey, hi, how are you?" And I say, "Oh, hi." And she walked up like she knew me. And it was her and her family. They were on a walk. And I was a little bit caught off guard. And she said, "Hey, we're, the guys next door and this, that, and the other. And also, I have asthma, so if you could just smoke inside of your RV or go down to the commonplace gazebo down by the water, that would be great, okay? Thanks." And I was pretty much caught off guard, and I said, oh, okay, and kind of agreed to it before I realized what I was agreeing to. And I've since learned I'm going to think any more now before I speak, because, again, she caught me off guard with that acting like she knew me thing and then sort of threw that in there. And I sort of nodded my head. And so after it was over, I thought, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to smoke in my travel trailer. I want to be out here. I paid a lot of money for the spot. I want to be able to listen to the sounds of nature. And I get it. I'm a smoker. Okay, there are worse things. I'm not in there doing meth. I'm not in there getting drunk. I'm not in there beating children. Furthermore, I don't have any children. So there's no kids running around being loud at night next to you. You could have done worse than me, except that I'm an evil smoker, and this is California. So anyway, I think about it all the next night, and I'm thinking, what do? I gave my word, which I don't take lightly, but at the same time, I don't want to smoke in my trailer. That's not what I want to do. And so the next day, I wake up, and I'm thinking about going down to the gazebo to smoke a cigarette, but it's raining. And I'm like, man, first of all, I got to take the walk of shame past her spot so that she can triumphantly see that the evil smoker is getting wet in the rain to go down to the gazebo to smoke her disgusting cigarettes. And it pissed me off. But again, I'd given my word. So I'm wrestling with this all day. But I think, you know what? She's an adult. I'm an adult. Let me go and speak to her. And I did try to find her at a time when she was away from her son, teenage son. And by the way, these guys are the incumbents here. They've been at the park forever. Now, again, my family had a place for a long time ago, but nobody remembers me anymore. They've been here forever. They consider it their second home. Their son wins the fishing derby every year, so they really have some stuff invested here. But so anyway, I see her out by her car, and I walk out, and I say, "Hey, we met last night, and I noticed it's raining today. And I noticed she didn't make any concessions for that about me going down to the gazebo to smoke. And I spent a lot of money to get up here, and you're all the way over in your other space. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke in the space that I paid for. And you can do the same, whatever you want to do is fine. And I think that that's probably the best way to handle it, okay?" And she kind of went, but I had said my piece. I said, "All right, thanks." And I walked away, thinking it was the end of it. Nope. So the elderly owners that own the park, who are probably tired all the time of people getting in fights next door to each other, man, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the dude that's having a problem with the neighbor. That's not the point of all this. The point is to get away. All of a sudden, I'm that guy. I don't want to be that guy. And I thought we had handled it man to man. And by that, of course, I mean woman to woman. But anyway, man to man. So the owner comes up to me and says, "Listen, you can't be smoking here. We might not be able to have you back. My mother had asthma, and I understand." Okay, first of all, she cried asthma and cried to them like a little bitty bitch. Asthma. I'm over on the next thing. It's not like I'm out here constantly smoking, and you could just close your door. What? But again, she's got the ear of the park owner who doesn't want any trouble, especially from an evil smoker. And we're the new kids on the block. So we're going to be the ones not invited back. There's a waiting list here for a reason. They pick and choose who they want, I think. I don't know that, but I know that. So I think, okay, I have no choice. I'm the evil smoker, and we're about to get kicked out, and I don't want to get kicked out. I worked really hard for a really long time to get this, and I consider it a tribute to my family, and I love being up here. I've always loved it. That's how I was raised. So I decide that I'm going to make a plan of action. And I can't believe that I've used a 10-minute video and I still need a part 2. Sorry, but I do. So go to part 2 and I will tell you my plan that's part petty and part manifestation. Okay, thanks.